Hey, Shalom Markins, Rakam Akapash from James Lona, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chachwadash. I want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of James, and Shalom out there to the whole for those pushing this truth in all sincerity. Just a quick video. I caught this article here, kind of on the back of what I was speaking about yesterday. The Lord is sending plagues and pestilences in the world, right? You often mention about, the animals and the beasts that the Lord had got out there waiting for, their dinner time, so to speak, right? To go do the business. But I got more on this. Here, this is from Euro News. I think that's the site I'm on. Yeah. All right. And it tells you here. It says invasive species are causing hundreds of billions in economic damage. Is climate change to blame? And like I said, that's the thing that Esau wants to point fingers at. Every time there's an issue with something, he want to blame the climate. But really this is the work and doing of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, causing things to change in the earth, okay, for the worse, for Esau's kingdom, because Esau's kingdom is being destroyed, inside out, outside in. All right, and the Lord is causing these things to happen, to bring this damage. Okay, so just going to read some of this article, right? It says a UN study carried out over 4 years across the globe reveals the devastating economic impact of invasive species. Invasive alien species, okay, this is talking about animals, right? Introduced by humans are spreading more and more rapidly around the world, right? So, people have things, these animals as pets and shit, right? And, there was that time ago where they had all these exotic pets, and the government brought some new laws, whatever, and these owners decided to let go of them because they couldn't afford to keep them, right? Provide the habitat that was necessary for them to keep these animals. So they just released them out into the wild, right? So you got these wild cats and all these types of things out there. So people have been partly responsible for this, right? So it goes on to say, so this is causing enormous damage according to a report by the UN published on Monday. The Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services, nicknamed the IPCC for Biodiversity, says it's a tidal wave that humanity has so far proved relatively powerless to stem. Okay, proved powerless to stem, right? And I got this scripture here from 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 5 here, right? It says, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? Right? You can't stem this, man. You can't stem all the things that is happening and going wrong with the earth, man. Okay, the Most High is making sure of that, right? Because everything is pushing you to your destruction. All right. It says, may any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it has begun to burn. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. The mighty Lord sends the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? Right? And no one. Right? The Most High have committed himself to destroying you, man. And there's nothing anyone's going to do to prevent that. His word shall be fulfilled. All right. So, like I said, they've not been able to stem this issue, right? It says, from plants to mammals, marine animals and insects, alien species are creating environmental chaos that cost the global economy 391 billion per year. That's a lot of money, man. That is a lot of money, right? And it just feels like everything that is going on is just creating and causing chaos in this place, man. That's the time we're in. We're in the time of chaos, man, right? And there's only so much of this can go on before this whole society breaks, and collapses and is destroyed. All right. So it goes on to say, how are invasive species damaging the economy? Asian hornets, American crayfish, ragweed, Japanese knotweed, cute squirrels, and raccoons. Invaders are proliferating, ravaging crops and forests. Again, attacking the food. We were talking about the food just the other day, right? Yesterday we were talking about the food, the crops. Lord is just attacking this place, man, and using every everything that is available to him, and just destroying this place, man. Right? So ravaging crops and forests, spreading disease, and again more pestilences, disease. They were blaming the whole CV pandy on a bat. Whether that was true or not, who really knows? But we know animals do carry diseases. But we know Esau was behind all that. But with the whole pandy, with the CV, right? But animals do carry diseases. So they're adding to these issues that are they're kind of running rampant in societies, man. All right. This is spreading disease and threatening the quality of life on Earth. The threat posed by this is underappreciated, right? Underestimated and often unacknowledged. Okay, according to UN Environmental Program (UNEP), it is in its recent invasive alien species report carried out by a team of 86 researchers from 49 countries. It found that more than 37,000 alien species have been introduced around the world by human activity. All right. This is as well as driving biodiversity loss and extinctions. These invasive species impact food and water security, human health, infrastructure, and livelihoods. Around 75% of the negative findings in the report occur on land, in particular forests, woodlands, and farmland. What is causing the rise in invasive species? Chief among the causes are climate change. There's that buzzword, right? The boogeyman, right? And human activity, with species accidentally and sometimes deliberately spread by people. Warmer temperatures, like those seen this summer in Europe and elsewhere, are expected to exacerbate challenges caused by invasive species. Changes in land and sea use that result in fragmented ecosystems can also help invasive species to thrive, right? Now, Esau's the devil, right? Everyone should know this by now. So-called white man, right? He's gone around and destroyed damn near the whole world, whether it be land, sea, people's habitats, man and animals, right? Yeah, he's destroying everything, right? So, people are moving, migrating, right? We've got immigration problems, which is another video I want to get on, at some point, right? Yeah, so people are moving their countries because Esau blowing the shit out of them, so they're moving to different places in the earth. You've got animals moving to different places in the earth because, the forests are being destroyed, and, the oceans are being destroyed and whatever, right? So things are changing places. They're moving around, trying to get trying to find something a bit more sustainable, so to speak, for lack of better words, right? So somewhere a bit safer for the time being. All right, which makes me think of this scripture. Where we at? Here, 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 8 says, "There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be offset out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places." Right, so they're on the move. People are on the move, right? Because Esau fucking everybody up, right? Because he truly is the devil on the planet, man. Okay. So the mentions women shall bring forth monsters, right? And looking at some of them now. I'm in the park right now, kind of busy. Got a whole bunch of Jake out there, unsavory Jake, with the mask on and shit, all blacked out, But that's the time that we're in, isn't it? And I'm talking about on the spiritual side of things, guys are gremlins and monsters, but also children that are just deformed and shit. That be happening soon. Which is what this is going into. But yeah, the main point, these beasts and these animals changing their places, moving their habitats, changing habitats, man. You got a lot of animals coming in the city, coming into the urban areas, into the suburbs, looking for food and shit. You got like I said, these big cats roaming around the wild side, the countryside, waiting for a good lunch, But yeah, apparently it's causing all kind of economic damage to, why is it, to these places, right? So, Intentional introductions of species outside their natural environments are sometimes carried out for their perceived benefits, without consideration of the risks. Meanwhile, unintentional introductions can occur through contaminated traded goods and stowaways in shipments. The report says that invasive alien species and their negative impact can be prevented and mitigated through effective management, including eradication, destruction. Because that's Esau's answer to everything. Just destroy them. They ain't where I want them to be, I just gotta destroy them. You know? But we just read, you know, you can't turn back what's going on, man. This is happening for its purpose, you know. To ultimate, to ultimately bring Esau's kingdom to an end. You know, so Esau got a whole bunch of problems that he trying to deal with, and he can't deal with them. Okay, as rich as he is, as powerful as he is, he can't take on the Most High and the plagues and the pestilences that are coming his way, man. All right. So yeah, include eradication, control, and ecosystem restoration. Yeah, because you're the one that damn destroyed it, you know. Now you're talking about restoring it, whatever, man. It's too late. Too little, too late. Right. There was something else I caught up on here when I was looking at this though. About wolves. Yeah, didn't know about this one. Right. There's wolves in the EU. Right. So the EU will review the protection status of wolves as Ursula von der Leyen warns of real danger. Now I ain't read this, so maybe it's talking about something else, because maybe it's talking about protecting wolves. Maybe, but let's quickly have a look and we'll find out. But so the return of the wolf in Europe is a real danger to livestock and human life. Okay, so yeah, okay, people are in danger. Livestock's in danger, you know. Says the European Commission warned Monday as it announced plans to review the species protection status. Okay, so they've been, I'm assuming they've been protected, and now they're kind of like, no, they're quite numerable, you know, and they're roaming around because, like I said, they're changing their places, man. They're coming out for food, you know. So they're gonna come closer and closer inland, you know, and when there ain't enough sheep and whatever, they're gonna take humans, men, women, children especially, because they're easy targets, man. You know, you've already got foxes here in the UK. You know, this was years ago now, a few years back. You know, climbing into bedroom windows and chomping on some baby in a cot or some shit, man. It was madness. You got a lot of dog attacks of late. You know, so this should be real, man. The spirits out here, man. You know. Grab this. It's Sirach chapter 39 verse 28. It says, there be spirits that crave for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hell, I don't know, berserk, and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance, right? It's for the Most High's vengeance, man, for him to bring destruction upon men and people and nations and whatever, right? It's the teeth of wild beasts, okay? Right, teeth of wild beasts, these wolves, these dogs, these foxes, and you know, all these different types of animals, raccoons, whatever, man. Right, they're all being disturbed, man. They're all pissed off with Esau. You know, they all want to get at him. You know, it says teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. That's what they're here for, man. Waiting for their time. All right, waiting for their time, man, to appease the wrath of him that made them. Right, for the time of destruction. So, just continuing with this now. So the executive will now enter a new phase in its process of deciding whether to downgrade the conservation status of wolves by gathering relevant data from local communities and scientists following mounting calls by European farmers. So the farmers are complaining because, you know, these wolves are obviously coming in and stealing livestock, as they mentioned, like the sheep and thing, right? We need to have an up-to-date set of information and data about the status of the wolf in order to be able to make further action, a European Commission spokesman said. The species is currently strictly protected under the Habitats Directive adopted in 1992, which prohibits the deliberate capture or killing of wolves in the wild. But packs of wolves have recently returned to EU regions where they have been absent for decades. So something's changing, something's happening. The Lord is putting His spirits on these animals to move, to march out, right? This is attacking livestock and fueling tensions in farming and hunting communities. So European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen was personally impacted in September last year when a 30-year-old pony, Dolly, was killed by a male wolf in northeastern Germany. Yeah, these wolves are no joke, man. These wolves are no joke. So the concentration of wolf packs in some European regions has become a real danger for livestock and potentially also for humans, von der Leyen said in a statement on Monday. Derogations to Habitats Directive allow farmers to take targeted measures to protect their crops and livelihoods, such as using soft catch traps for wolves, but they're not allowed to kill them. You know, the Lord has allowed them to breed and you know, remunerate. You know, so you might say, oh yeah, but Esau was the one that did it. No, it's the Most High that put the spirit on Esau to protect these wolves, man, to preserve them for these end times, man, to come out and tear flesh. You know. Let's see now. Alright, so here it's got here Austria, Belgium, Chechnya, which is I think Czechoslovakia or Czech Republic, right? France, Germany and Italy are among the EU member states that have seen a dramatic increase in the number of livestock killed, right? So it's something that they're all facing, they're all seeing, right? Where the number of livestock killed by wolf packs reportedly increased by 230%. By 230% to 680 in 2021. Several regions have controversially allowed the killing of wolves to counter the negative impact on farmers. Man, this should be over double that, you know? Quadruple, right? It says, let's see now. So the slow recovery of wolf populations in the EU must be celebrated, not feared. So some men are calling for, you know, just to allow them, man, allow them, you know, allow it, fam, right? This is this success remains fragile as the majority of transboundary wolf populations in the EU did not yet reach a favourable conservation status. After investing all these efforts and funds, downgrading the protection status of wolves would not only affect their welfare, but also jeopardise their survival and condemn them before they could even be saved. So you got some men, you know, calling to, you know, pay them no minds per se, you know, for lack of better words, man. They don't want nothing too harsh to come down upon the wolves. All right, so you know they're gonna be out there, man. Ain't nothing these people are gonna have to do anyway. All right, but again, it's just to show you, man, that you know things that are just happening in the earth, man. You know, the average person wouldn't even pay attention to. You know, but it's the Lord's work. It's the Lord's doing. The Lord's spirit that's moving out here on man and beast. All right, and it's just a, you know, a matter of time until they're unleashed. You know, unleashed upon the masses, man. You know, so with that, I'm gonna say shalom, Lord, witnesses at the time, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. So next time I say shalom.